Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do another fun painting. So let's get started. We'll start off today with a palette knife and a little bit of blue and white. And this is going to seem kind of strange because we're actually going to do a palette knife painting today. I've been getting some requests about doing one, and I've also just been wanting to do one myself. So I just decided that today would be the day. Now, I got no medium on here. I thought about starting off with medium or even like tinting this canvas, but I decided not to. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some of our clear gel painting medium in with the paint as I go, when I feel like I need it. I got a little bit down here, so I just mix it in the paint. Helps it to flow. There, I'm just rubbing very firmly with the knife. This is gonna be a nice soft background. It's gonna take a while to spread all this paint out. Next, I'll scoop up just a little bit of white right out on the edge of the knife. And right in here somewhere, I'm gonna start working on some light. There we go. Now, you see, in this painting today, there's not a lot as automatic. You know, normally when we paint, the sky blends automatically with other colors, you know. So you put dark and you can fade the corners into the light and stuff like that. But when you're painting with the knife, it's a little bit harder to get these blends, so you have to spend a little more time and make sure you're adding enough variation in color. There, you can press pretty hard and really move that paint. And should you ever get too much paint, you can just scrape it right off down to the canvas and then put your white over that. So, even though we're painting with a lot of texture, we're still in control. Now with the knife, we'll just create beautiful little trees back here. I'm using a little bit of white, blue, and black. There. Okay, so this paint here is very, very thick, obviously, because we've been putting it on with the knife. So what you can do is you can actually put your paint on and then turn your knife around so that the small edge, you see you have a small edge you can work with as well. And scrape along with that, and look, it kind of removes some of the texture, and it gives you a softer tree, and then if you want to blend over that just like this, you can. We're going to have leaves and things, so any rough edges are just fine. It makes a pretty nice little tree. There. So it's very much like you would paint them with a brush. There, you can even just drag, look at that, you can just drag them down without tapping them in first to get more of a soft effect. There, very fun. I like this. This is different. And I like showing you different things and different ways to have fun with painting. But even though we're painting with the knife, I don't want to give up the detail. I still want there to be detail and for it to look real. But the difference in this painting is going to be when you get close to it, then you'll see all the knife work. And it'll seem really interesting. Now I've added a little bit of extra black and maybe just a touch of red to the same blue and white mix we've been using pretty much the whole time. Then I'm going to draw the paint out and I'm just going to scoop up a little bit. And let's go ahead and paint in a close-up tree. Well, at least a little closer. There. And oh, maybe let's have a branch that sticks out like this over the whole scene. At least over the whole background. Isn't that nice? Do a little bit out here. So you have options. You can kind of touch down. This seems to work the best. I like touching down and then pulling it. It seems to give me a nice solid effect. Ooh, look at that. Nice. Up here, let's do the same. Let's just pull it. Make it nice and thick, though. This is a big old tree back here. Nice. And then to make the foliage, the little leaves and stuff, I sort of start touching like this, and then I use the point of the knife. You see that knife has a great point on it. So in this one knife, you actually have a lot of different uses. You can use just about every little bit of it. And I like to give it a little bit of just a flick, like we do with the filbert brush when we create distant leaves. There we go. Doesn't it make nice little leaves? All you're using is a palette knife, and oh, it leaves wonderful texture. there's a whole style of just palette knife painting. It's really very interesting. But remember, you have to keep in mind the proper use of colors and tones and all that. Just because you're painting loose doesn't mean you can ignore that stuff. It's very important. Now I've mixed up a quick brown color, and I'll just cut off a little bit on the knife. And I think I'm gonna work here on some trees. Oh, maybe they're over here and they're hanging in. Maybe, here, let's even have them hang way in to this blue area. You see, this is very backlit, but now we're coming into the foreground. And remember, I said if you have any areas that you're feeling out of control in, scrape them off so that there's not very much paint underneath. And that usually helps. At least it seems to. I'm kind of experimenting around today. I don't normally paint tree leaves or anything like that with the knife, but oh, it's working well. I like it. It's a lot of fun. Next, I'm going to block in a little tiny river or creek. Maybe it's like a little creek running back here. It's very nice. And, oh, I think it'll be great after we put some highlight on it. For now, I'm just rubbing this color in. And this knife is flexible, so you can kind of mush it into the canvas. There we go. And then we got a very straight line here, which I don't like. So for starters, I'm going to come in here and just sort of rough it up, and then we'll bring some rocks over. So no worries. There. Next, I'll cut off a nice big amount of black and green. Just scoop it right up on the knife. And I'm going to go ahead and drop in another tree. I'm just going to do it the same as we've been doing all the other trees. Really not so hard. Use the tip of the knife because it has that beautiful point. Now there's a few ways you can do this. You can either go like this, watch. You can kind of hold the knife loosely and kind of break the leaves over like this. You see that? That gives you a kind of a leaf texture. Or you can angle the knife up and randomly sort of stab at it. Give it a little flick. And that also creates nice leaves. Just depends on what you want to do. Or however you're most comfortable using the knife. There. It really is this is a great painting to do because it'll give you practice with the knife. You become very familiar with it, and you'll know how to make all sorts of beautiful effects. Now, as you can see, I've mixed up a few colors of paint here. I've got a white with a little bit of red, and I've got just a plain white and then some white with blue. So I'll take the white with blue first. And I'm going to start highlighting this water back here. In my mind, this is kind of a moving stream. So I'm going to kind of touch and pull down. And this gives me some ripples and such. Pretty easy. Not too difficult, really. There we go. You can brush it if you want to. Just gives you a different look. Brush it. I really mean rub back and forth. There we go. This is hitting rocks and, oh, it's making big splashes. Put some of this pure white right out on the top. Look at that. Gives it some extra detail. And you're never going to get your water as smooth as you would with a brush. But what I did was I just took my knife and I just pulled straight down. And I wiped it, and I pulled straight down, and I wiped it, and that kind of blends it. See that? So you can actually put a bit of a highlight here in the middle just by doing this. And paint right over it with your ripples. Now with some black, blue, and white, let's go ahead and begin to block in some big rocks here. Maybe this is like a big patch of boulders or something. Maybe not boulders. Maybe like small river rocks or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along here, because when you're painting rocks, it's usually the case that you're very loose and you kind of work with whatever shapes happen naturally. As long as there's no symmetrical patterns, I tend to just leave however the paint goes on the canvas. I tend to just leave it alone. Let it work for me instead of fighting it. There. Dropping some rocks in on this side, although I want them to be softer. maybe a bit that sticks out like that. Now with just the point of the knife, I'm going to drop in some beautiful highlight onto these rocks. I've got a soft gray color, and it's gray with just a bit of blue in it, so it's not just black and white. There. Just putting in these beautiful rock shapes. I'm just using the point because I don't want a big rock, I just want small rocks. All right. And you can do some over here. There. Maybe we don't want them all that color. Maybe we want some, maybe we want some beautiful light ones too. Got a little bit of brown and white, a little bit of yellow. Put some light, beautiful sunlight right out here. But don't overdo it. Now lastly, we can add a little bit of grass here in the foreground. I'm very, very carefully dragging the knife. You see, if you do too much, it'll all just mix together. Be careful not to get symmetrical patterns or anything like that. You can dab with the point of the knife to create larger leaves and interesting details. This is kind of the equivalent of finishing up with a liner brush. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out my website, my DVDs, and also my brush line. And thanks for watching.